The world is burning, and I am here with the combined fire hoses of socialism and atheism to douse the flames. Roll title sequence. For those of you who may not know me, I am Dr. Leonard Timenti. Follow me on Twitter at Dr. Timenti and on Facebook at Leonard Timenti. Email me at dr.leonard.timenti@gmail.com. More on that at the end. So, I am 154 years old. I am a socialist, an atheist, and a geneticist. What does that mean? That means that I look at DNA. I have spent my entire life, looking deeply in at what makes us who we are. And I have taken that to its extreme. Because I am, as some would say, a bit eccentric. I was the inventor. I'm still alive. I am the inventor of the licorice-flavored peanut, of the both black licorice and red licorice varieties. I've created the peach-flavored potato. I've created several drugs. I did that in Canada in the 60s, as I was, consciously objecting the war in Korea as well as Vietnam. And as a fierce advocate of socialism, I have preached Medicare for all ever since the inception of Medicare, and I have also preached a universal basic income for every person. Well, that's what universal means, but I have preached a universal basic income for every person since I have come to America, basically. My very first election in America was 1912. I voted for the socialist candidate Eugene V. Debs. And based on that regard, you may be wondering why my first election in the United States was 1912. I am an immigrant. I was born in Austria-Hungary. I was born in Salzburg, Austria-Hungary. Then we moved to Brno when I was... what year was that? I was born in 1865 and... 1875, yes, when I was 10. When I was 10... we moved to Brno, and that is where my mother got a job as a chef at the local monastery, which is where I met my deep friend and mentor, Gregor Mendel, the father of modern genetics, which makes me the stepchild of modern genetics. I came to America with my... we left for America with my wife and daughter, my first wife and first daughter. We left in 1907, and then we got to England in 1908. My wife died of she contracted the plague and died, and my wife's last words to me were, "Take our daughter to America, make a better life for her. There, in the country of America, the country of the United States, where the streets are paved with gold." Well, not really paved with gold, because that's quite... that's actually quite... what's the word? You can't do that. That's unfeasible. That's quite unfeasible, to have streets paved with gold. But it's quite a land of opportunity. So I took my firstborn daughter to the United States in 1908. We got to Ellis Island. I took the Steenberg off of my name because my name was Leonard Timothy Steenberg. I took the Steenberg off of my name for fear of anti-Semitic violence against me, anti-Semitic rhetoric and violence and action against myself. And also, well, my daughter is fed. And right away, 4 years later, in that next election, I voted for Eugene V. Debs and will become a fierce advocate for Eugene V. Debs, even campaigning for him even campaigning for him as he ran for president from prison in the year 1920. Yes, 1920. Anyway, long story short, I am here as a socialist and an atheist and an eccentric geneticist to give my perspective to the world, to the politics and the world of things that is going on, because I believe that it is my perspective which has been lacking from the YouTubes, as they say, as the kids say. I have decided to engage in the show Left Wing Rising in the fierce rise of socialism in recent years. I, as many state, am a socialist. I'm a pure socialist. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she is a democratic socialist. She is right. I am further to the left. I am more socialist than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I am more socialist than Bernie Sanders. I am a socialist in my own, in the own meaning of the word. Now, I should say, I am not a communist. There's a difference between socialism and communism. Socialism is a social net believing that the government should take care of its people and not besearch the name of its people for profit. And communism is the belief that, well, everyone should receive the exact same thing. Basically, socialism is equity and equality, and communism is fairness. Communism is everybody receiving the same thing no matter who they are. Socialism is that everyone should receive what they deserve. Everyone should receive the level of support that they need to make a living in this world and to survive this crazy world in which we live. So that is the reason why I've decided to grace the internet with my show Left Wing Rising. With that being said, let's get right started with the recent national emergency that the president has declared. Obviously, I don't agree. I mean, there is a national emergency in this country, and it is not at the border. Well, I suppose you could say the national emergency is everywhere. The national emergency is the climate. Because our climate is changing, we are fastly approaching an increase in the global climate of 2 degrees, which will be catastrophic, and it is basically Earth is responding to us as our bodies respond to a virus or a bacteria. It is warming up in which to fight the infection, which is humanity. I'm not saying that every human is a germ, but I am saying that humanity as a whole is but a germ to our human bodies. That is the comparison. That is the scale comparison. So, this declaring a national emergency to build your wall faster is quite laughable. It's quite laughable, and it's quite, illegal, and it's screwing over Congress. President Poopyhead, which is the term that I have denoted for him, President Poopyhead is screwing over Congress, which is quite baffling to me that the Republican Party is supporting this, that they're supporting their own butt, as you would say. Yes, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. Next, I will address the hearing which happened today as recording this. The hearing of Michael Cohen in the Democratic House of Representatives in the committee. We should listen to. We're searching for that. We're investigating everything, and we need to continue the investigation. And because here's the thing. Russia really isn't important in all of this. The thing which we need to get at is that this president engaged in corruption and sold the country short in order for power and making money. It was like there are checks with the president's signature on them. From 2017, checks to Michael Cohen and to Don Jr., checks from Don Jr. and this other person, Alex Weissmuller, whatever his name is. What I'm saying is we need to continue the investigation. Michael Cohen seems apropos coming forward. We need to listen to what Michael Cohen says and then make our judgments wherein they support the conclusions of those investigations. That sounded like I was talking in circles, was it? Yes. Oh, I sound like a politician. Possibly. Weird. All right then. I mean, that's what this show is going to be. It's going to be me commenting from a socialist perspective on politics. With that being said, I will comment on the I was about to say Hugo Chavez. He is the former president of Venezuela. Comment on the Nicolas Maduro commentary situation down in Venezuela. This being said, I am a socialist. I do not agree with Nicolas Maduro. I agree that there do need to be elections in Venezuela, and whatever the outcome of those elections should be the result. Whoever is the rightful winner of those elections should be the president. Whoever won more of the popular vote, wink wink, President Puppyhead, should be the president. Now, Nicolas Maduro, people say that Nicolas Maduro is a socialist. He is also a dictator, which is a bit fuzzy and grey. Socialism and dictator, which is like, once you're a dictator, that's really the line between socialism and communism. Because though I agree that the government should be in control of certain things, I also believe that the people have the utmost sense of power, and have the ultimate power belongs to that of the people and that of the populace. So, what I'm trying to say is that Nicolas Maduro should probably go at this point, because he has violated the contract between the office of the Venezuelan president and the people. He has violated that contract. And, as being such, the people voted that he leave. So the winner of the popular vote should be the president. I mean, it seems simple. I mean, it's much more complicated. It's complicated, but it is also simple. It's grey. It's very grey. Like most things in the world, it's very grey. But that's going to be a lot of what this show is. It's going to be me rambling about my socialist and atheist mindset and views, rambling about socialism and atheism and politics in general, just me rambling. If you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button and the like button and all that other else. Me further describing what I wanted the show to be. Me further describing what I want the show to be. I want the show to be a place for me to ramble and for me to get my opinion, get my perspective out into the world. And I want also other opinions as well. So my assistant, Jordan Richardson, will be appearing from time to time in a segment called From the Lab, or In the Lab, whatever the name of the segment is. I'm 154 years old. Memory is a fickle thing. Where was I going? Oh yes, we will have reports from. I can never remember this person's name, but we will occasionally have reports from the mayor of Crazyville. We will every once in a while be graced with the presence of an interdimensional traveler. We will do other fun things on this channel. For example, like the following segment. What would Dr. Cementi do? This segment, this inaugural segment of What Would Dr. Cementi Do, WWDTD, I would like to talk about what I would do with regard to national emergencies. If I were president of the United States, I would declare a national emergency on climate change, and I would devote many resources. I would invest heavily, as the government, I would invest heavily in solar and wind and all of the alternative green energies, and I would invest in a universal basic income, and I would invest in electric cars, and I would invest in a car that heavily in public transportation and trains, the high-speed rail from Minnesota to Chicago, invest in the high-speed rail from Los Angeles to San Francisco and possibly beyond. I would invest in those infrastructures which reduce our national carbon footprint, which reduce our level of emissions and reliance on oil and other fossil fuels. This is what I would do with the respective national emergencies. What would I do if I were running for president of the United States as a Democrat? Well, what would I do? I would not. I am 154 years old. Why should I be president? My generation has come and gone as far as power goes. So, I mean, it's my generation's job. It's my generation's job to shape the future and to find the youthful individuals who can propel my vision of the future and where I believe the world should go forward. With that being said, there are a couple of candidates whom I would like to address in that vein. Number one, Kirsten Gillibrand. Kirsten Gillibrand is a fierce supporter of early childhood education and in giving the youngest among us an equal and equitable start in the world, who give the humans at the most critical stage in development the best chance for success later on. Secondly, I would like to mention Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is an individual who will represent the people and what the people want, and she is a fierce advocate for the legalization of marijuana nationwide, which is something that I support, of course. I mean, I've come out with several drugs. I have invented several drugs back in the 60s. Yes. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to... Yes, there we go. There we go. I've created several drugs, so of course I'm in favor of that, and she is also a fierce advocate in giving all people health care and making sure that every person has what they need to survive and be a contributing member of our society. And thirdly, I would like to mention a person who has just most recently declared themselves as a candidate for presidency on the Democratic ticket in 2020. This person's name is Pete Buttigieg. This person's name is Pete Buttigieg. This person is the mayor of is a mayor in Indiana. I forget which city, which this person is a mayor, which they are a mayor. But they are a person who is fiercely fighting for the future. They support strict efforts in climate change, sort of like what I was just saying with the national emergency, towards climate change, and they support equal rights. They're a fierce advocate for equal rights for the LGBTQIA plus community, and they are a millennial. So they are a member of the generation that should be coming into government now, that is coming into government now, to take over for the previous generation and really take over for the baby boomer generation. I say, having at least 2 children in the baby boomer generation, you know, the millennial, but I have at least 1 child in the millennial generation, I believe. But back to what I was thinking. Back to what I was saying. I support Pete Buttigieg for their run for presidency. I support Kirsten Gillibrand. I support Kamala Harris, and I support Pete Buttigieg. So look into them, go to their websites, go to, news articles about them and find out more about them. Go to their records on the US. In the case of Kamala Harris and Kirsten Gillibrand, go to the Senate records and look up their record. In the case of Mayor Buttigieg, go to Indiana's database and look up their record, and that is what I would do if I were you. That is what I would do if I was a candidate for president. As I wouldn't run, I would support Kamala Harris, Kirsten Gillibrand, and Pete Buttigieg. That's what I would do. That is what I would do as a 154-year-old socialist atheist, eccentric geneticist. Yes. And now, until next time, keep looking inward. Follow me on Twitter at Dr. Timenti. Follow me on Facebook at Leonard Timenti. And send me an email at dr.leonard.timenti@gmail.com. Thank you.